But
Thank you to the one person who is still listening to us. You are our favorite person.
I'm gonna hop off also because I actually want to listen to the podcast. But Casey, I've rarely been as serious about anything as you guys holding a party for me.
Oh, it's all kicking off between the blacks and the greens, 'cause Emma Aaron didn't have a son. Now the swords will flash and the targs will clash to the echo of a dragon song.
Hello and welcome to Vassals of Kingsgrave. I am Zander, also known as the Lord Baron on the Discord and forums. Today we are covering the Ice and FireCon 2020 event. And with me, I have
2022.
20. What did I say? 21?
20.
2020 slash 2022.
I mean, Xander's not totally wrong. This is the 2020 Ice and FireCon that was supposed to be in 2020, but it ended up being in 2022 because COVID.
I still have
leave,
because
of leave all that in. That works.
The con that never was.
Yeah. Anyway, so Ice and FireCon 2022, and with me are fellow vassals that were with me on that weekend. We have Adam.
Hey, this is Adam, also known as drownedsnow.
Casey.
Hi, this is Casey, Blue-Eyed Queen.
Kevin.
Hello, this is Nuncle Kevin.
And Matt.
We out here.
Awesome. We did have a couple other vassals with us on the weekend. They were unable to join us tonight. And yeah, I've never really hosted. Where are we going from here, you guys? Do we want to go day by day, or
we should pull up the schedule?
Yeah,
we had old Greg.
Oh, and Alex Lucky Charms.
Can we not call Greg Old Greg?
Yes, he is the owner of books.
Yes,
show respect. Greg.
Elder Greg.
Casey, can you give us Greg's feedback?
Greg is busy
verbatim, please. Verbatim.
So, Greg is a very tired bookstore owner and, small business owner, so he was very preoccupied with his books. But Greg's formal review quote that I got from him is he had a pretty good time, and he got to read 75 pages of his book on Saturday night, and he was very happy about that. So, overall, I can say that's a really big positive, and I think that he enjoyed the heck out of it.
That's a 6 out of 5.
Pretty good time.
Yeah, Greg notoriously.
And want to read on a Saturday night? Come next year.
Yeah.
Is it the French judge that's always like 4 out of 10? Great score for that judge. That's Greg.
It's literally yes.
That feels accurate. Yeah.
So Thursday, the day of Thor.
Yes.
We arrived at different times for the con.
Yes, I think I had the longest trek out of everybody here. Both Greg and I live on the end of Long Island, the east end, and so it took us 12 hours, which was, I moved, pre-2020, 2020 I moved from DC to New York, and so this was very different for me. I liked living much closer to things, and now I feel very far away from everything. Except for New York City. That's close. But basically we spent the whole day driving, so we didn't really do much. Did any of you guys get to do any of the panels or anything like that?
Yeah, Kevin and Adam, you guys were first there.
Yes, we were in the van.
You guys.
Not a literal van.
Yes, we went to the mock trial, which was
fun. Yeah.
The King's Guard versus the Night's Watch. The Night's Watch won handily because it's a much more important institution. So yeah, kind of a hard case to make that the King's Guard is more important than the Night's Watch.
Who guards the king?
But
In theory.
Yeah, but if the realm falls, you don't really have a backup. If the king falls, he's got an heir of some kind.
Yes, but
Or-
it was under the guise of like the people of Westeros that were like, what's the Night Watch do for me? Takes my jobs. Like
takes my sons.
That's right.
Because they stole the bread.
That's right. Kingsguard, where second sons were meant to go.
But I had a slightly easier drive in. I'm coming from Chicago. It's only about 5 hours, a little more. The only thing that delayed me, because I probably should have gotten there about the same time you two did. I was stuck at the car rental place for like 2.5, 3 hours. So.
Right, they tried to give you like a U-Haul, right?
Well, no, because I got the U-Haul for the price. And then the dude called me the night before, and he's like, "Hey, we don't have U-Hauls, but people usually do it for the price point. So can we give you this, the same price?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." But just bullshit happened. I eventually got the car, no problem. Just got there later than I wanted to.
I would have died if you came in a U-Haul.
I was so hoping to just roll up in like a fucking white van, no windows, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Other stuff that Adam, I think we also did the Molding a Monarch panel. That was fun.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah,
The comparison.
It was just good to see people again, and be around humans, talking about the same things. I don't know. It just felt like a before time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this was one of my first big event type thing, other than like a wedding that I've been to post COVID.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Did your wedding involve Molly water?
we need to talk about the Molly water.
So let's just get this out of the way, okay? Because
no.
this is a good leader anyway. But
This is literally.
we open up the weekend, and this sort of set the pace for the whole weekend. There was a gentleman at the bar, which actually there was a child at the bar eating some pizza near us when we were like at the bar. This is interesting. And there was this kind of, I don't know, jittery looking gentleman that kept coming back and forth. It's like, okay, it's kind of weird. And at one point he turns to Kevin and he's like, "Hey man, you want this Molly water?" It's just like a ratty looking water bottle. And I said, "Wait, what?" Literally, like I think Kevin, what did you say? You said something like, "Oh no man, sorry, I don't want to."
Sorry.
I don't have any cash on me or something. He tried to be like, and he's like, "I'm not trying to sell it, bro. Like, come on. I just don't want it to go to waste. I don't want to use it tonight. I want someone to enjoy it."
I just amped up my southern accent, like, "Oh no, I don't do stuff like that." Because truthfully, I don't do anything harder than weed, and that's just on occasion. So, yeah.
This weekend was one of those occasions.
Yeah. It was just, dude, man. He was just mad awkward, and he was a presence the whole week. Because even Saturday night, Kevin and I were at the bar again, and we were talking to two of our friends, and he kept coming back trying to offer one of our friends that we were at the bar with the same stuff, and I had to be like, bro, we're just not interested. And he's like, "Man, I'm not trying to get you a ticket. Just smell this." And I'm like, "Dude, we're just not interested." Like, no, nobody's gonna smell your fucking paper, dude. Like,
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, like that's like the first, like that has not ever been a thing in previous years, but we did have a 2-year gap. So
right.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's like a regular.
The better bumps of the con.
Yeah,
definitely wasn't a part.
He
He definitely didn't have a lanyard, so he wasn't a part of the con or anything. Just to make that very clear to everybody there that it's not like a normal con experience.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
good.
Yeah. Time to put out a PSA. Don't take strangers' drugs ever.
Yeah, seriously. Kids don't do it.
Yeah. Well, a big thing to remember too. This is a much smaller con than the average, and it's in a essentially sort of like a quasi campground. Like the state park in Ohio, Mount Sterling, and really you eat all your meals there for the most part. They have a bar and a restaurant, and you either eat that or you cook in your cabin if you have one room. But that's pretty much how all the eating occurs. So it's kind of hard to avoid someone like that if they're in those common areas.
Yeah. So moving on to the fact that we all, except for Matt, stayed in a cabin together. That was very fun. It's the first time I've stayed in a cabin there, and I think that they renovated them, so that was
It was
a
so
positive
much
for
fun.
me.
Well, they were like mid renovation. The wood was still raw, but it was nice.
It smelled good. I actually really liked that it smelled good.
Yeah, it was like clean and beautiful view, and it's good to be out in nature. I mean, I don't know the cabin. I don't know. I don't know if all the Ohio lodges are like that or whatever, but it's a good time and it's a nice small venue, even though there's not as much like wild stuff around or whatever. Like if it was in a big city, but I think it works for us, right?
Yeah, and I think that, like if you are looking to stay at a state park and you want to like get a cabin, I think that's kind of like a popular thing to do now, especially with COVID still around. So I definitely recommend it for that kind of a thing. And I also think it was really great for the con. Wasn't too far from the resort or hotel area, and all the fun con things that were happening all weekend. So it was really fun.
Yeah, I would say it's a great venue, even just beyond the convention we went to. Like you were saying, people wanted to take a vacation, kind of a little more secluded. It's a great place. The staff were great. I don't really think I had too many complaints all around about it.
Mm-hmm. Did any of you guys, I know that I caught the tail end of the Q&A with David Peterson. Did you guys, and did any of you go to see the Valyrian Steel panel?
Yeah, that was well, I got there in the middle of like the mock trial. Although I was still kind of like wandering around. But yeah, I did do the Valyrian Steel, which was actually, I mean, honestly, I went to, I feel like I went to very few like just straight panels throughout the weekend.
Right.
But the Valyrian Steel was one of them, and one of my favorites actually. Mainly just because it'd been like a minute since like I had done research on that type of thing, so
Right.
that stuff like wasn't solid in my mind, so it was like a fun refresher and chat.
Yeah, I would say like one of the biggest differences this year for me was that I didn't, I always go to the panels, but I feel like I was more focused on like hanging out with people that I hadn't seen in like over 2 years than I was like focused on like Game of Thrones related things.
I will say that was my thing.
Well, yeah, you guys should definitely like voice your new, like this is your virgin experience.
Yeah, so to be honest, I did miss like a good majority of the panels. Not necessarily because I didn't want to go, but it was my first con. And especially knowing all you guys and just being a part of the fandom for the greater half of the past decade. I was a bit overwhelmed and kind of more excited just to not even necessarily interact with people, because I'm not the kind of person that can easily just go forward and be like, hey, I'm this person from this place, blah, blah, blah. But just more so being able to see the fandom and all these various people you've ever heard or read or something, just see them interact in real space, in real time, in the same vicinity. It's we were talking about this kind of in the House of the Dragon trailer just before this. It's that whole idea of like how nerd culture and fandom really is still relatively new, even though it's something I grew up with. So, even though I'm in my 30s now, being able to go to this place with a bunch of other like-minded nerds and like just enjoy company and drinks and talk about fictional bullshit that doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but it makes us, have fun. I don't know. It was great.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, just like sitting by the fire, or walking in the lodge and see, people in cosplay, walk by, or people just like jamming, singing songs by the fire, dressed as like random people, or I don't know. It's just kind of like fun atmosphere, and like nothing against any of the like the programming or anything. Like the panels and stuff that we went to were great, but it's just like a lot of it's like we've talked about it so much, and like it was just I don't know. The stuff that was more like community oriented was more attractive to just kind of like, hey, be around people and chat and talk and have fun, and like the musical or the games or things like that. And with the House of the Dragon and with maybe Winds of Winter someday, we'll have more to talk about then. But I found the what David Peterson like creating the Valerian language really interesting.
Yeah.
He had like 5 panels though, so
Yeah, I agree with all that very much. I think the big thing is so much of this, it just feels like we've talked it to death. And that's not, I don't think that's on any individual person. I just think at this point, so even though there's a ton in these books and the show, we've all just heard so much of it. And to really be hyper engaged in a bunch of panels about it all day would just be hard. You'd have to have just almost fresh new people you've never heard before, which I think, at least over half or 2/3 of the panelists are people whose content I'd engaged with at different levels already. So it's tough. I don't think that's a knock on anyone. Like at this point, I really don't listen to many podcasts about the show or the books, except maybe the occasional one that just goes so ridiculously in depth on something, or compares it to something in the real world. So yeah, I think House of the Dragon will change some of that.
yeah. But there were a
in
lot of
terms the con,
newer fans there that maybe it was their first con, right? And that was nice to see people that were, as excited as we used to be. Not that we aren't as excited. It's just like, I don't know how to put it, but yeah, it was just great seeing that still going, and
yeah,
especially the great cosplay.
That's why I liked being with all of you guys, because like at this point we all know each other. We've all been friends. Like I've met Kevin before, but like even though this was my first con, being with people I knew and friends, it made it more exciting and more comfortable.
Yeah, I will say on a personal note, I appreciated Kevin, you and Zander being there to be more of a match for my particular party level than perhaps some past years.
Yeah, I feel like in the
except for
past years we were doing more gaming, and this year was more partying than anything.
Social.
Except for the part where I couldn't make it past about 12:30.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
There's a couple. I guess this is a good segue into the nightlife section in the first night with Skelly, and I thought someone was going to fall off a roof and die amongst other.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that was so
it was
fun.
good fun. Yeah. It was good
And I'm
fun.
glad nobody got hurt.
I was just like, okay, I have medical training, but if something happens,
Yeah.
I had too much to
Yeah,
think.
Skelly really had that, like, we've been on a 3-year hiatus energy, and
Right.
and there's somewhere probably between 300 350 people there, and every single one was on the same fucking page of
People were going hard in the paint.
We are going to
like,
go.
The party game was pretty good this year. I mean, like some people they went all out. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Skelly was really fun. I feel like I'm either like too tired, or I usually am into whatever gaming thing is going on to have really fully experienced it, but I'm glad I made it this year, and it was just really good to see everybody.
Yeah, I mean, on Kevin's point, like, Skelly Night was definitely my most blurry of the 3 nights, and just like I feel like just the sheer amount of people I talked to was, it's just all blends together.
it was all that wildfire that you drank. You know what I didn't know that I didn't see this year was what was the drink like with the final season like with Torment and them? Everybody was making like the milk drink. I don't remember that now. What was that? I didn't see any of that though. Like the crazy like Giant's milk with all the different like milk and Fireball and like I was like that looked disgusting though.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know
no.
what you're talking about.
You don't remember? Oh, why can't I? I'll have to remember what it's called now. There
I
were
know
like
what-
recipes and stuff everywhere, like at the last Ice and Fire Con that like because it was like I don't know, it was just all over the place.
I mean, I know it was at like the bars. I know that Mountain Dew had like 2 special drinks for Ice and Fire Con, and I know that in years past that Greg's home, um, that they had special drinks at Deer Creek, but I don't think they had any this year.
Yeah.
They did
Can't be
not
worse.
have any special drinks.
Can't be worse than the mead that they made for Dragon Con. Was so bad. Yeah, I'll drag.
Yeah, it was
another con.
Tormund's Giant's Milk. There's all these recipes. People were making Tormund's Giant's Milk.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I just remember I didn't go to the History of Westeros Radio
Well, that was
Westeros
that was-
meetup, but I know they were doing Sean Beard's weird mixed cocktails of like naked juice and energy drinks and shit.
Hmm.
Greg does not remember.
Okay.
All right, so
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
Did we? I was gonna say, did we just want to? I feel like maybe we cover all the parties at once, or not?
Yeah,
or do we
sure.
want to just go by day because we're still on Thursday?
Oh, geez. Yeah.
So yeah, Friday morning.
There are no rules to con recapping.
Friday morning, I may or may not have woke up hungover.
I think everybody collectively woke up hungover.
Right. I mean,
Just the entire con woke up hungover.
I purposely slept in on on all the days, both days, which is why, didn't go to those early panels. But they'll be up on YouTube eventually. The Woman in Agency one is up now. That's one I'm interested in watching.
Oh yeah, I'm sad I missed that one. I want to see that one as well. I think that most of the boys we all went to breakfast that morning, and then I think we either wandered into the panel or did our own thing or whatever.
Yeah, because I think our cabin, how many of us? The 4 of us, 5 of us went up to breakfast, like noonish, 11ish.
And I have to say it, I am mad that whatever they used to do to their bacon is no longer what they currently do to their bacon, and I really liked the bacon in 2018 and 2019. It's really good bacon. I really miss it.
The people demand crispy bacon. We demand it.
Yeah.
I want my deep fried bacon.
It was good though.
So speaking of dining,
coffee was good.
whenever we get to there, we have to discuss
Oh my-
the oddness of the dinner.
That
Oh,
is,
that was so
Saturday.
weird from my point of view too.
And
World's
maybe
tiniest
if
piece of
anyone
pie.
went to the con is listening, they'll tell us if their experience was similar or not.
I need to know. Yeah.
Because just like this, I have never had this dining experience, and I don't know what happened exactly. it was very interesting.
I mean, we can go ahead and tell it. We've talked a little bit about
You want to
the
just
dining
tell
already.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier that there's a restaurant, which is lovely for breakfast. There's a nice buffet. That first morning when I was hungover, I ate a lot of pastries to help sop up the alcohol or something. I don't know. But for dinner, there was not a buffet.
Beautiful view of the lake. Sorry.
Yeah, the restaurant does have a beautiful view of the lake, and the raspberry ones were very delicious.
So we sit down to eat on Saturday night, and
Well, you have to start in the
Well,
bar.
you have to start at the bar.
oh yes, we
We went to
we
the
sat
bar
at-
right
Yeah,
after.
yeah. Please,
right after
please,
the
because
tourney or something. Yeah.
I missed the beginning of
We-
this part.
So we got into the bar, okay, and there was a few people up there. We're like, we'll order some quick food or whatever because we're hungry. And we got up to the bar and we like get up to the bar. There's an empty spot. We're like, great. And then like people just keep filing in behind us. I'm like, oh man, good, we got here just in time. And we're sitting there like waiting for someone to take our order, and the other people just keep going around the corner to like where the cutout is between the bar and the restaurant, and just somehow keep ordering over there. Well, they ignore us the whole time. So I think after like 20 minutes of that, we're like, you know what? We might as well just go sit down at the restaurant because this is not working. Like 30 people have been served, and they just keep looking at us like, do we need to speak to them? And they were like, nope. So, and I think we got offered Molly water again, and that was just a sign, to move on.
Oh my god. So we all go to the restaurant. We had to wait like 10 minutes to get seated or whatever. And I think there were 6 or 7 of us. But we all get seated, we all look at the menu. We pick out our food.
as we're waiting to do this, a child dare look upon Adam.
Yes, I'm looking out the window. I forgot about this part. I'm just looking out the window at the beautiful view of the lake. And this poor young busboy or server like looked over at me and was like, oh, do you like I thought I'd spoken to him or something, and was like, do you need something? And I was like, oh no, sorry, I was just like looking at the lake. And he was just like profusely like, I'm so sorry for bothering you, I'm sorry I spoke to you. Like, no, I didn't mean it that way. I was just like, no, I wasn't talking to you. I was like, I thought I said it politely. I don't know, maybe I didn't.
We should
Do not
also
speak
state-
to Lord Adam.
That's right. But he treated me. I was like, oh my gosh, is he like just like feeling the vibe of the con here? And he's like, your grace, please don't murder my family. I was like, oh no, that's not happening.
God,
And then
that happened before I got to the table because I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
yeah, and then we sat down. Let's see, and we were all ordering, which was an interesting process. And what was it? Like they front loaded all the ordering, right? And they asked Alex like if he wanted a dessert like during the ordering, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they basically they took our orders for appetizers, and because we got 2 appetizers and our main meal, they left, and then I think our appetizers came out, and they came back over and were like, would you guys like any dessert? And we're like, this is not correct. This is not the
And
right
it wasn't
order
even
of
that.
things.
She was like over, like there's 2 levels to this. There's like a lower level where you're looking kind of out over the water, and there's like some higher level seating, and there's a table kind of at that higher level seating above us, but no one there. So she just like walked over that, and it was like looking down at us from the balcony. It was sort of like hello. It was kind of an odd thing. It was definitely a power move on the part of the server. And then Alex wanted his pie, right? I think he ordered like a chocolate pie or something.
Yeah, so Alex was the lone dessert haver. And I do want to interject here that I do believe that a lot of these people were in training, so I think that there were new people in training for the summer season or something like that. So I don't want to blame them
And if this
entirely.
sounds mean, we're not really complaining about the service or them.
Yeah, no, we just think this is
a
really
very funny experience. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they were in training for
so
like
the pie
life
comes
because
out.
they were like
The
12.
pie comes out. This pie comes out before everything, and they're kind of like, oh, thank you for dining with us or whatever it was. Like she brings out all of our checks.
Wait. Hold on. Before you get to that, all right, let me interject real quick. So I didn't go to the bar with them or go to the restaurant with them. I actually, because this was after the tournament. No, this wasn't after.
Yeah, it was after the tourney.
It was
It was after the. Oh yeah, it was because I went to the VIP fucking meetup thing. Spent fucking 2 minutes in there, felt awkward as shit, and left. and then I came to find
Aw.
you guys. And this is because then I texted Kevin because I didn't see you guys in the bar. I didn't see you in the conference rooms. And I texted Kevin. I'm like, "Where are you guys at?" And he's like, "The restaurant." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." I walk in the restaurant. I see you guys. I sit down. Everybody's got their checks. Alex has his pie. I'm like, "Oh, cool. Hey guys, what'd you guys get?" And I think Adam or Matt, one of you turned to me and were like, "We're waiting for our food."
Like, because they straight up thanked us for dining, handed us our checks, and like all we had gotten was the pie, and then the like oddly phallic pretzels. And I was just like,
Also,
they're bringing the food, right? Like,
we were
they're
very
bringing our
concerned
food.
that we weren't again. Yeah.
I was like, surely they're bringing the food. They've got to be bringing the food. But there was definitely, especially when Zander got there was definitely this moment of like, maybe they thought we ate.
Yeah, like I thought that I was gonna have to like go up and be like, hey, we didn't get our food and we already paid, and I didn't want to be that person.
You want to
Like,
be the kind Karen? Well, see, I was trying to figure out, okay,
the
I don't know
most-
the etiquette because this has never happened. Like, how long should I wait before I'm like, I
Right.
think we're not getting our food? 10 minutes,
Yeah.
20 minutes? Like, how long do we wait? Because they
thankfully
didn't
we
communicate.
waited.
Like saying, well, normally you would expect them to be like, hey, we're just gonna get the checks out of the way because we're so busy, but your food's on the way. But like they were like, here's your checks, thank you for dining, goodbye. It was yes, it was a very bizarre dining experience, and then the food came and everything was fine.
Yeah, I have to say, I think that would be the most reasonable complaint to ever happen, Casey. Hey, you charged us and then just didn't give us food. But
and the manager would come over. Well, clearly this man is eating pie. This is dessert. You've had your food. Don't try to scam us, con-goers.
and he's clearly eaten most of the pie because there's only about a $50 worth of it left.
Who would eat the pie
that's
before
what
their
brought
meal?
him.
No one.
That's the thing we didn't mention about pie. It was legitimately like the size of like a $50. Like that's circumference. Like it was so tiny.
But I'm sure it was delicious.
I'm sure.
So yeah,
It's like
that
was our
kind of
food for the six of
the
us
whole
to share.
thing. We were very like awkwardly being like, we're gonna have this nice dinner, and then I was like, is this about to turn dark? What happened?
I know, because like I felt like
It was all
of
fun.
everybody of the group that like I was probably like the most like assertive of everybody, and I didn't want to go like full blown like Karen mode, but I wanted us to get our food because I was hungry and I wanted to go do other things. So like it was
Right.
a
The
really
whole point was
really
like,
hard
the
mental
restaurant will be
debate.
quicker. The restaurant's gonna be quicker than getting stuck in this bar. And then we're
Right.
like, because what we were trying to get to
We just wanted dinner.
the trivia, right, or the quiplash.
Yeah, the trivia.
Whatever. I
It
forget.
was
what
trivia
it
that
was
we were
trivia.
trying to time.
So, which we still had plenty of.
Not that that mattered at all.
You know.
No.
Oh yeah.
We won. We won
We'll
trivia.
We'll come
No
back
one
to that
knows.
one.
No one knows.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we want to start
We're
with lab?
claiming
Kevin?
victory.
So we kind of skipped over the tourney because that was before the restaurant ordeal. Do we want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I think we need to go back to Friday.
We have to discuss Friday.
Well, that is Friday, isn't it?
No,
No, it
No,
was
the
Saturday.
Saturday.
that was yeah.
Oh shit! All right, I'm
I
confused.
mean, yeah, really. I mean, for
What
me,
was-
I was so late. Like, really, honestly, the first real thing I did on Friday was like the Davos Fingers meetup. I mean, I was probably sitting in the back of a couple of panels, not paying attention.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing I did Thursday or Friday too.
Yeah. Because yeah, we had it was like the Davos Fingers Game of Owns meetup, and then the Riddle thing right after.
Oh yeah, you guys own that riddle thing, right? I didn't even realize that was going on. But
Yeah,
Right,
I'm
yeah,
like
which
sad
is-
I missed that.
yeah, it
Yeah.
sounded pretty fun.
Yeah, no, we enjoyed it. I mean, it's something that I always blank on her name. Beth, I think. B word on Twitter. She does that stuff randomly, here and there. So she was like leading it.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, Davos Fingers
I have
was fun.
stickers.
Kind of did. Oh yeah, go ahead. I mean, we kind of did the same thing we did, last time. Kind of just pull the chairs into a circle a little bit, just sit down, like chill out for an hour. So that's always fun. And then we
that was
won the riddles.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love that.
Yes, we want a sticker that will be gifted to Mikal later in the summer. And she's
Wait.
Oh, and
I
we
would
must
just like
speak
to
of the
say-
swag. There was
I would
swag
just like
hidden
to say-
everywhere, and I think
BLK
Kevin found
won
something
every day.
when we first got there. Oh my.
yeah.
What were you
We
saying?
always win. We always win. Duh. Look at us.
I'm
We
about to
do
say
win.
Yeah, shout out to our fourth member. His name was Zach, right?
Zach, yes, to Zach of House Zach,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
alias.
Not our
Huzzah.
Zach, but a different Zach. As
Who's
he
still
was,
Zach.
we
Zach
were
from
all
another
crucial
universe.
members.
And anyone else who's still listening at this point, I don't know who. We're gonna have some Molly Waters T-shirts for you next year, for sure. Just so you know, the first of her name.
Our favorite
She's
Baptist
Molly
shirt.
Waters.
Molly Waters.
She's important in the new show. Trust me.
Yep. She's egg on the second.
Trust me, bro.
Molly Waters.
That's right. She's the Roz of House of the Dragon. There we go. Molly Waters. On the off chance that someone involved with that show hears this story and puts that character in there, we need credit. Just saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Friday. What else happened on Friday?
Quiplash.
So yeah, we won the riddles. What did we do after riddles?
Quiplash.
Quiplash.
Quiplash, which was so much fucking fun.
Yes. Quiplash
It
was
was
probably it's always one of my favorite things at the con. I love that.
Yeah.
Did they post a video for that on the con YouTube?
I don't
They
know.
will.
I mean,
Or-
yeah,
If they
I don't know
haven't,
if they
they
necessarily
might.
do that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
That-
these
that
nuts
one
might
was-
not be.
Yeah.
YouTube
Had to be
appropriate.
there.
All right, so for the listeners, if you're curious, you can go to the Ice and Fire Facebook group, and I think Ashea posted a couple of the Quiplash answers, a couple of the good ones.
It was mine there.
Yeah.
About Sam?
100%
I think it was
see if I
either
made it.
yours or Matt's that were up there on one of the ones she posted.
Well, there was one of mine getting crushed by an actual good
Oh,
joke.
yeah.
I got my goal is just to get like one good one, which I got with the Patriot, with Bran the Builder building the patriarchy. The year before, the last con I had the Wide Liana Goes South for that good D. So as long as I get one in, like I'm set.
I would also say
Queens.
that's the first time I've ever done Quiplash. I didn't know what it was until that. And
Oh, really?
that was probably the best way to be introduced to it, because I immediately understood the assignment,
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time trying to remember the days, because I don't really have, like, the panels to kind of mark them.
Right, yeah. That's like I don't think I went to
Was
like
Quiplash
any of these
that
panels.
night?
No, they were like because the musical was also that like then we went into musical and then karaoke and all that shit.
Oh, that's right. So after Quiplash, there was the musical. So we could actually talk about that now if you guys are interested.
Yes.
Awesome.
I thought
There
it
we go.
I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean I didn't I wasn't expecting anything less as
Mhm.
obviously Westeros was a bunch of fun
Yeah,
last
it was
time we
awesome.
did this. And
Yeah, shout out to Dom and Tara and some of the other girls for writing that.
yeah, I guess official writers were Dom, Chloe, Anna, and Brian probably helped too. And yeah, I mean we have a decent amount of talented singers, like at least like percentage wise of people that go to this con. So yeah, it was what? Tara, Britt, Lydia, Kat, Elle, Anna. For the six queens. Dom is obviously the starring role as DJ Euron.
DJ Euron, I love that. Yeah, I had I don't know about you guys, I'd never heard or seen this musical. I kind of anticipated it being Westeros a musical again, which I was pleasantly surprised to. Because
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
what I
a
thought. I hadn't looked into it. That's what I thought it was going to be.
But
So it was nice to have something new. But I didn't know. I knew like one or two of the songs, kind of, but that was it. So
yeah, it was weird because like yeah, you don't know the song, so you're trying to learn the song while you're trying to enjoy the performance. But it was absolutely astounding. It's on.
yeah, they did a great job.
They uploaded it. It's great if you haven't seen that.
Yeah, watch it. It's funny. It's good energy. It's yeah.
Oh,
It's
and
great.
apparently Matt pointed out you can hear fucking everybody laugh because I threw up my my lighter during part of the show.
Yes. It was so funny too because right before that I whispered to Greg, I was like, I think I'm gonna put my phone light up, and he was like, oh no, don't do that, you're gonna they said no flash, and I was like, fuck, you're right, and then you did that and I was like, oh yeah, good.
Yeah, meanwhile, me and Zander were like, yo, we should totally put lighters up right now.
It was so good, dude. Matt, I'm like, I have to give you full credit for that because you like mimicked you did the miming of a lighter, and I was like, oh, I got one right here. And then like
yeah, I know, I didn't
so
have one
many
on me.
people, the next like night and day, the amount of people that came up to me and were like, oh my god, I was dying when you put up your lighter. I'm like, thanks, that wasn't my idea.
So we should say, so this play, of course, Greg is printing something right now, but sorry.
He's
He
printing
also-
something in 1998.
He also has headphones on, so he can't even fucking hear me. Okay. Oh my god. Hold on.
No,
Yeah,
just
Casey,
share
you
your
probably
audio
know the
with
most
Dave and force him to
about
be on
this.
this.
I will say, no joke, this weekend while I was watching an NBA game, an ad came on the TV for like the the Broadway version of Six.
They know.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, this rendition, Six Queens, basically is based off of a play called Six, and it's basically a um, modern retelling of the six wives of Henry VIII. And so it kind of fits well that, Game of Thrones, there's, lots of queens and lots of stories to tell. And so I thought that it really fit perfectly with everything as, I guess, a more modern retelling of A Song of Ice and Fire Queens.
Yeah, and then they did. I mean, similar. Westeros did the same thing, kind of. Mixing around with book and show canon, and just kind of like fucking about, joking with whatever. So always a good time, always a good laugh, especially for our committed types of people we have at this con.
Yeah, and I think that the play that they chose was good. I don't think that there's, it's really hard to follow up from doing a Hamilton inspired musical because I feel like so many people just know how like that's supposed to kind of go, so they kind of can focus a bit more on the changing of the words with it. I feel like Six has been very popular on TikTok, so if you're on there, you really know like what's you might know the lyrics from that, but I think it's hard to pick the right, like there's nothing like Hamilton like as far as notoriety goes, but I feel like if you know it, it's a really good one to pick, and I felt like it was really fun and apropos.
Yeah, I feel like I
Yes.
may have come across it previously, but yeah, I didn't really listen to the music until after this.
Yeah, Hey, I have to drop, so since I don't get to cover Saturday, I'll just say whole con's a lot of fun. If you can make it to Ice and Fire Con in the future, do it. It's more like a nerd weekend, long weekend retreat than it is a formal con, and you just get to know a lot of people, which I think is kind of hard to do at a lot of bigger cons.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to be had by all. You meet a lot of people in the fandom, and find out that like the podcaster with like 200,000 listeners or whatever is ridiculously normal. And of course, not as cool as us. So, all right, peace out. You have the best time.
Bye.
Bye.
And
Night,
if
Kevin.
you're like Kevin, dance your ass off.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think it's very convenient that he dropped off for Saturday.
He just doesn't want to talk about how much he danced because it'll just make him tired thinking about it.
Yeah, he's so tired.
Little dancing machine. Okay. Do we have
So, yeah.
any more thoughts on the musical, you guys?
Yeah, like particular like highlights or moments. Stuff like DJ Huron with the world's saddest air horn.
I loved that. Honestly, that was one of my favorite parts of him being DJ Huron. That was just such a perfect way to frame that musical.
Mm-hmm.
I really loved all their costumes. I think that they really chose well,
Gorgeous
and
costuming.
like everything was so fun. I loved it.
Yeah, it's kind of like nice where the people doing this putting it on kind of have some signature looks where it's just like obviously Tara's gonna play Cersei and stuff like that. So that's always like fun and just it's just kind of like immediately a natural fit. And I thought a lot of the if you do know going back and listening to some of the music you can see why you pretty easily see why certain songs were chosen for certain characters. I do I'm hesitant because I think it's rude to like pick a favorite, but I'll do it anyway. Where my favorite song was definitely Marjorie's. I thought that was just just a fucking blast, like through and through.
Yeah, I think that's probably what like one of the more popular songs in the whole play, like the actual play too.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Both versions are great.
Yes.
I will say listening to the play stuff, I think the one that easily stood out for me is Catherine Howard's song. All You Want to Do.
Yeah.
Especially like a live rendition where you get the emotion at the end. I thought was really spectacular. But yeah, like Brit's performance and just kind of the ingenue like part of it and all that, I thought was excellent.
Queen March.
Flowers in the chat, y'all.
Yeah, it was just pure fun.
I do remember.
Even though Blackfire. I'm sorry, Casey. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
I think I interrupted you. You go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say that I remember Greg saying that Asha's song was his favorite. And I also really enjoyed that because it had a little bit of a different tone to it than I think all the other ones did.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Lydia was a very good number. She's a very good singer. Yeah.
All right, I gotta rewatch it. All right.
Yeah, Matt, I'm really
the supreme shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blackfire Supreme shit. I just love that. Again, listeners, if you weren't there or haven't seen it already, please go check it out on the Ice and Fire Con YouTube. That shit, it was great. We couldn't even describe how great it is. You just gotta watch it, and it is available for free to watch on YouTube. So go for it.
What were you gonna say, Casey?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm glad you remember everybody's names because I feel like the one thing about Ice and FireCon is that like I know people by Twitter names or I know people by who they cosplay by, but not by their real name.
I'm about to say this honestly might be legitimately one of the only times I actually like make an effort.
Yeah.
Usually,
Yo, I'm
like
trying
even
so
when
hard.
yeah, usually when people like introduce me, like I'm just not even trying to like it's basically like if I see you for a second time, like then I will try to remember your name. But yeah, here's probably one of the few places I actually kind of pay attention.
Yeah.
See, and I'm the same way. I will just have to say this is one of the times my name does not work in favor because like how do you not remember Xander? But then I got to remember like John or Bethany or
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. There are at least
or
like
how many Alexes there were over the weekend? Like Alexes or Alexanders, and it's like I thank God I'm Xander because sheesh.
yeah, there's at least six mats that go this thing regularly. So
Right.
I mean, even like Matt, you're always Matt from Ice and FireCon in my phone for sure because like
oh,
I have just have so many Matts in there.
yeah. Actually, yeah, you are also Casey Ice and Firecon on my phone because
Perfect.
my cousin is named Casey.
I love it. All right, so after the play, we had karaoke, which was fun. I feel like
Was it?
it was fun.
I mean, I just like
I
watching people.
I feel very weird about it. Um, you describe the night, and I'll say my thing.
I mean, I think that it was really fun. I think that it's you have you get your turn, and um, it works out or it doesn't work out. I don't know.
I mean, I don't try to participate or anything. So really, I'm just going there to see some people, just because as I said, like we have a decent amount of talented people. Um, so like when Tara always does something, like Dom and Michael always do something, Shelby always does something. I missed Brian's performance, but like he always does something. Like it's there's I feel like there's enough like regulars that go there always have a good time, like watching them. We got Nami and the Wake Me Up.
That's
That was
always
good, yeah.
always
Yeah, always
awesome.
gotta have the Evanescence performance, a must.
So yeah, so um, I think this is more so my relationship to karaoke in general, and not specifically the karaoke at the con. Because like you're saying that like there's it's kind of unbelievable the amount of talent, whether it's singing or writing or costuming or it was literally any sort of talent and swades and spades or whatever the term is. Um, so with the and Casey, you're gonna have to back me up on this. I can't be the only one on this island. So my biggest thing with the karaoke, and this could just be because our group got there late, or decided to late. I don't remember which was the case.
Oh, like you feel like they like jump like more of the regulars like jumped you like in the
Yeah,
lineup sheet.
kind of.
That honestly, that may be totally possible.
And I think it was, which is like fine, and I get it, but at the same time, it's like
Yeah, no,
I, I,
I
had,
I
I had a really good time. I enjoyed seeing everybody, but like because I
You felt a
signed
little
up,
flea bottom.
waiting, that waiting, and it's like I can't go get a beer, I can't go to the bathroom because like what if they call me and I miss. But I think that is more of the nature of karaoke in general, and not necessarily the karaoke at the con.
Yeah,
yeah, part
yeah.
of me.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Casey.
Matt.
No, I would say my only comment is because like probably well yeah part of that is also especially with like some of like the organizers and volunteers, you gotta fit it in their schedule, so they just kind of go when they can go. And also because like like some of these they're doing like filks and like stuff that they've like written themselves that like might take more setup, and so it's just like it's set up for a specific time would probably be some of the reasoning behind that. Obviously, like the Queens, did a encore performance of the opening song.
I'm actually glad they did because obviously they lip synced to recording, so it was nice to hear them singing live. That was great.
Yeah.
I think it's, again, more so just karaoke in general and a personal thing. From the time I signed up to the time I walked up on stage after I sang, 2 totally different people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel like so Zander. I totally
like I'm pretty sure I'm one of those, like I was the kind of person who like dropped the mic and ran off stage awkwardly.
No, I thought you were good. I think that I wasn't like as in the right at the right level of alcohol. I wasn't at the right level when like our turn finally came up, or your turn finally came up, Xander, because I ended up
Exactly.
out.
But totally fine because I didn't want to be there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it just karaoke is difficult when people do really long songs. I think that it just kind of drags a little bit. And part of me like totally feels you, Xander, for like the waiting part and like feeling like people are cutting you. And then another part of me is like, well, Tara runs this show, and all the volunteers who are running between things and making this whole con work, like they kind of deserve it. So I kind of go back and forth with that. But either way, I think that it was still very fun. I think that in years past, I remember like it not taking that long. So I don't know if maybe like there was just a lot of people who really wanted to do karaoke.
Yeah,
this year.
there were more people this time.
100%.
Yeah.
And I do wanna put out there, I have nothing against or no ill will, or this has nothing to do with the event organizers or anything. It is just the personal situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with any of the organizations, time crunches, anything like that. Just, I'm a very socially awkward person, and my window is waning, so I feel very uncomfortable about the whole situation.
You can only psych yourself up for so long.
Right.
Right.
And then was that the night that we took those awful shots?
Maybe. I mean,
yes, that was. Yes. Okay. Perfect. That's actually a perfect transition, Casey.
that was the night I had some moonshine, but I don't quite remember what shot was where.
Right.
I think I
don't think you did at least not the one.
I think that was
just thinking of.
Yeah, I think that was me, Kevin, and Xander. Or at least
I didn't do it. I don't think Kevin did it. I think it was just
no. Kevin was like, nah.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious considering everything, but.
Right. So to go slightly back, every listener who is somehow still listening to us. So when we went to karaoke, me and Casey were like, "Oh, we're feeling good. We should do this. Let's sign up," And then, as you guys just heard, didn't quite work out exactly how we had imagined. But then after the karaoke, we went to the bar to get some drinks. And Casey was like, "Hey, since I didn't do karaoke, let me buy you a shot or whatever." I'm like, "Cool." So we got a shots, we got a drinks. What was it? Vodka, right?
No, I did tequila, thinking that she would give us fucking salt and a lime, but that was not the case.
And that's not even the worst part. Is that was missing. The worst part is she. Again, listeners out there, if you're from or near a city, you know what a shot looks like because that is a goddamn measurement. These shots she gave us those tall shot glasses that you make like bombs in, and it was like, I swear we had like a double shot of tequila each with no salt, no lime. We both take it. We're all good. I'm feeling the burpees, and I threw up in my hands.
No,
Oh, that's right.
felt
I remember you
bad.
talking about that.
I felt so awful. I was like, not only did I not sing trivia, but the shot that I bought him made him get sick.
Which, no, it's okay because like I know myself as a person, and I push myself. I probably should have excused myself to the bathroom much quicker.
I mean, I think that alcohol was very cheap, or like it was something very cheap
I mean,
because
I
like
swear to God, they
I
they
could
probably
barely.
put cheap
It was a
alcohol
generous
into the
pour.
name brand vodkas. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I just said tequila. Like, I don't know brands, so I'm just like tequila.
Right,
That's a
yeah.
lot.
When you just say a liquor, like they're gonna give you rail.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It,
It was
but
just
yeah,
a
no,
lot for myself at the time.
and
Not a big deal.
I took a half shot.
Yeah, you're smart. I was not.
yeah, that's what you like at that time of night. You take it half and half. Like,
Yeah. I was smart, or I wasn't smart. I went back to cabin, changed my shirt, washed up, whatever. And then we went to the second night of the parties, which was the wall party, right?
yeah, Land of
Forever
Always Winter.
And Land of Always Winter party. That one was cool.
Yeah, thankfully, since I had dipped out of karaoke, thankfully we magically ran into each other, kind of in between there, because I was fading that night, and
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I
you
was on my
helped me
way to
rally.
the party. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is funny. Of all the photo dumps in the Ice and Fire group that I saw, the one picture I found of me in the background was when we were at that party, and there was the dog walking by, but I was also walking. So in the picture, I'm just a blur, but I know it's me.
Oh wow, didn't see that one.
But that was a cool party. That was super fun. Damn, it's kind of hard to talk about the party because they are all a blur. I think the VOK cabin really
Too many challenge shots.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was like I remember like certain drinks from like each of the parties. So like that was a night of moonshine, Jello shots, and there's definitely some weed too.
Right, and that's how I remember each party individually. Is I'm like, all right, this party I talked to this person and they had this drink. This party I talked to this person and had this drink.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I met this guy named Travis from West Virginia, who was a Ravens fan. So we were I had my Caps like jersey on that night. So we talked some like Washington, Maryland sports for a bit.
Perfect. Yeah, I tried to talk. This one Boston guy. I think it was actually Thursday night that he was talking to us, and I was like, he was talking about the Celtics. I was like, "Ooh, do you watch baseball? Because I'm a Yankee fan, and we can talk about that." And then he was like, "No."
Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
We'll call him Boston Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like,
yeah.
yeah, Friday night was the most blurry for me. Although I think that the reason I got sick that night was just combination of alcohol and it being too late for me.
Yeah, that was definitely the latest. That was the latest night for me.
Yeah,
Somewhere
Trevor
around like
was hangover.
3-4 a.m. something
And
like that.
having my dinner of mac and cheese bites probably didn't help you.
Yeah, because Matt, you left that party, and I think Casey, you and I stayed like another hour till like 3, right?
Right. Yeah.
And that's when you got sick. So we were even for the night. And we're like, let's go home.
Yeah.
Oh no, you got sick when we got.
No, I got sick like 3 hours later at home. It was at the cabin. It was great. Hope everybody heard me, because Greg heard me for sure, and he thought I was dying. But
I'm pretty sure Greg's the only one that heard you. I don't think
thank God.
Was Kevin even there?
No, Kevin was in bed.
Kevin literally every single night went to bed before midnight. He was the biggest
I think
party animal, but he was the biggest sleeper too.
Yeah,
I think it was a debate between who would go to sleep first, Adam or Kevin.
Aww.
Or Greg, maybe.
The brightest flames burn the quickest.
right. Yeah, I was trying to think of the quote. Burn too bright.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I think Kevin. What was it? Was it Friday night? Kevin was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta go get something out of the cabin." We went in there and he's just, he's asleep. He's passed out.
It was Friday that he was like, I gotta go get something.
And then Saturday we were like, "Where'd he go? He just disappeared." He disappeared, and then I'm like, "Oh, he's asleep in the cabin." And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, I kind of ride in a van, and like the people in the van were like, "I probably shouldn't be driving." I was like, it's like 100 feet or 200 feet, or I don't know. How far is it? It's probably not.
Oh yeah,
not great.
respect to the people driving the golf carts back and forth.
Right.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh yeah.
I do want to say though, with this Friday night party, that I did have a chance to go inside and say hi to Chloe, and I thought that the Weirwood picture or Weirwood like Instagram picture art thing background.
Oh yeah.
That was really awesome and pretty.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The only time I went inside was to throw out a bottle, because like I didn't want to throw it on the ground like an asshole. And like I saw that and I was like, oh cool. And then I turned, because like all the cabins are the same, so like it's the same design as the one we had. And there's all those people where the garbage was, and I'm just standing there and I'm like, I'm just trying to throw this out. And some chick saw my Robert Smith Cure back patch, and I talked to her about Cure for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, there are probably a bunch of photos for the Weirwood stuff on the Facebook group.
Oh, one of the things I forgot that we did on Friday was the pictures with the with the wolves. It was
Oh yeah, I'm so mad because I misread the days, so I missed my my time to do that.
no, that's okay. They'll be back next year. I hope so. Anyways. But they were really fun.
Yes,
and
but Zander was the VIP. He had that exclusive access.
Did you get one? Were you supposed to get one for free?
Yeah, well, because I got the VIP thing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a very VIP experience.
So yeah, that was the joke. I was the very important pansexual all weekend.
Love it. But yeah, that's always fun. I love the pictures that we got in, I think it was 2018, with Greg and and so we did them again this year. And I thought that I'm annoyed at my face in like half of them, but like they're like really good pictures. Anyways.
All right, let's skip to Saturday. We should
Saturday.
probably get off this call.
Yeah, all right, Saturday. So, I don't think any of us did anything until turning, correct?
Yeah.
I probably didn't do. What was it? Let's see here. I listened to Choose Your Own Reading Order, I think. But that's about it. Whatever. It looks like there's a War of the Roses type thing here. I'll probably check that out on YouTube later. That seems fun.
Yeah, there's a bunch of these that I want to check out, but due to the
Okay.
circumstances of last night, I did not wake up for any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
was a very
professional by the way.
personal centric.
Yeah, I came wandering out at like noon. Like John was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm finally awake." Fuck.
Oh, I love that the con has like so many like a variety of people where like you can have your early morning people that do things like that, and then you have me. Well, at least that weekend, me was not that chipper in the morning.
I mean, I took a nap on the ground with a whiskey sour while we waited for the tournament.
Oh my god.
That tells you anything about how this weekend was.
But the tourney was fun as normal.
Yep.
I don't think we had any participants this year in our group, but as always, it's a fun thing to watch.
Well, we
House Man Woody was represented
it's not
by
VO,
John.
yeah, it's not VOK, but it's Man Woody, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
John did represent us. I'm sorry. Yes.
He took a valiant fall and withstood through his wounds.
Yes, for both Matt Woody and Frey alike.
Was unhorsed. Yeah, unfortunately, Dan, our Frey representative, was unable to make it this year.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan. We miss you, and the phrase "miss you" very much.
Yeah, Dan and
I
Nancy
will
were
say the Frey reps were still there.
Yes,
yeah.
they definitely still represented for him.
Frey.
Winning all over the place.
mayhaps a few opponents didn't show up. They were too afraid.
I'll probably say, yeah. Well, I'll say, yeah. Last note for the tourney. Yeah, last note for the tourney is a bunch of people did Fire Emblem and Blood cosplay that was particularly good.
See, I wish I could have enjoyed that more, but I don't know anything about Fire Emblem. But I will say it was well done and very smart, because I do know it's like a sword fighting game that they would take part in the tourney.
Yeah.
There were some fun bits. Also, let's not forget the proposal. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, and we're
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah. Like the big thing of the tourney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
So, kind of just recap. I'm sure the other podcasts people listen to, they'll say who won the joust and who won the melee. Because I think did Art won the melee?
Arthur
won the melee.
No, Arthur got the joust, and
Arthur got the joust.
Crap, who won the melee? Oh, Hanneman, Maester Hanneman, whoever that was.
Right. That's
I don't know his name.
I can't recall either. But after the melee after the tournament was done, Dom in a slightly different costume. I didn't even see him change right there in front of us, but he called out to the audience, saying it was a shitty fucking tournament. Let's have a real fight. And then, oh shoot, why can't I think of his name?
Pat,
thank you. Pat accepted the challenge. They had a really sweet choreographed fight. It was really fun to watch. And then Pat won, of course. Dom took, again, very valiant fall, rolling all around on the pavement. And then Pat named Queen of Love and Beauty for the tournament, which is Ice and Fire's fandom's very own Sanrixian, Mallory, if you didn't know. He had her come up, got down on one knee. Everybody lost it. Half of the people started crying. I know I did. And then you see in the audience, Mallory's parents popped up, and her brother popped up, and it was awesome. Probably one of the coolest engagements I've ever seen.
Yeah, when the parents showed up, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when I saw the parents, that's what really got me. Like when I saw him propose to Mallory, I was like, oh, that's so cute. And then like I saw the parents, and I'm like, oh my god.
Like, this is so beautiful.
The parents are
right, like I'm watching some fucking TV show.
What was it thinking? Oh yeah, so the con continues to go strong, because this is like the 6th fucking marriage that has come out of this.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. Greg, get some ideas.
Oh man.
At the next tournament, when they call for the book owner, you'll know.
I mean, honestly, if Greg gets on stage anywhere, I know that something weird's up, because he never does anything like that. Yeah.
Find some.
All right. Anything else before performance contest?
No, I think that was it for the tourney, because that was really the highlight, was the proposal at the end.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the costume performance panel, I guess, showcase maybe.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
We'll say showcase.
Yeah, they do it every year. Probably less people on the costume stuff this year, just because, like, I mean, people are wearing costumes all day. Like, they don't really need to go up into the showcase to present them. Really, it's about the performances, which are always a blast.
Right, and not to say anything about the costumes, because literally I don't think I saw a costume I wasn't impressed with.
Yeah.
Everything's top. Everybody does such a great job.
So much effort. So good. So yeah, performances. Let's see. Ones I remember are Lady Marmalade kicked it off.
That was a great one. Yeah, that was another.
That was great. Yeah.
Not Queen's performances and from the musical, but another group of queens performing. Yeah, that was awesome. I'm sure they recorded that too.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, it's just you like with that you have to. Just with the technology limitations, gotta do the pre-record.
And then there was who was it that was dressed as Daenerys and did the Dothraki monologue?
So yeah, I do not know her name.
Oh yeah, she's pretty good though.
But yeah, I believe she won, deservedly so.
Oh, for sure, especially because we should point out what is his name? The linguist, the top linguist, David.
Right, yeah. David Peterson.
Yeah.
Co-signed the performance.
So he was in a different room. He wasn't in the conference room. For those listening and that weren't there. And in whatever room he was, there's like a little kind of hallway that leads into the conference room. There's no doors or anything. It's just an open space. This young woman, can't remember her name. I'm sorry. If you're listening, let us know. Dressed in full Daenerys garb was it from season 7 or 8? A Dothraki monologue. In full Dothraki, full costume. She does amazing. And during the performance, out of the corner of your eye, you see David Peterson, the man that wrote this language she's speaking, kind of peek in and just wide-eyed and smiling, and it was quite the performance. That was awesome. Just having the con linguist made it there, you know.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I loved it. And who did the I forget his name, who does like the performance every year that's like the scene from
Scott did one of his classic performances. This year was Robert. Yeah, Robert and Ned in the crypt with Lyanna. So Scott was Robert, Chris was Ned, and Britt played a silent and haunting Lyanna. That was fantastic.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I will say this is probably hands down one of the best highlights of my weekend, personally. So much so I really had to go up to Scott afterward and just be like, bro, you know, like that performance moved me so much. When I got back to Chicago and I'm dropping off my rental, I had my dad pick me up from the rental place, you know, and I'm chit-chatting about the weekend, and I'm just trying to describe what Scott and company did. I couldn't even like describe it without getting, you know, emotional and choked up, because that's how raw that performance was for me.
Yeah, but say unfortunately, I don't think his last one is on YouTube, which was like a Stannis Davos and Mel scene. But the first one he ever did was the Broken Man speech, which is on the Ice and Fire Con YouTube page if you scroll down enough.
That's
Yeah, that'll get you.
amazing performance.
So yeah, and then another one I remember that was like out of nowhere, surprisingly good, was this guy named Coy. I met him randomly on the Friday night party.
That was the
but,
Boston guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he did a poem that he had wrote that was quite good.
Yeah, that was really good.
So yeah, I feel like I'm missing like one, but those are the ones I remember.
Yeah, I do feel bad because we're for sure forgetting some.
Yeah, it's a couple weeks after, so my memory isn't as good.
Right.
Yeah, and we sloshed our memories with alcohol all weekend.
Well, I only had a couple beers the weekend, so.
Man, I heard you guys ran out of beer by like Saturday afternoon.
Hey, that was not my fault.
Oh man. So then we had our dinner fiasco.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
I know that the panel that David. Sorry, Zander.
No, go ahead. I was doing the same thing you were.
Oh, okay. I know that. So we had our dinner fiasco, and we were. I know that a lot of people were looking forward to David Peterson speaking, and I think that there are some technical difficulties. So we were able to see like the last part of that right before trivia, and it's very fun. Every time that I've been able to listen to him, it's very interesting to hear him speak. And for me, like I took linguistics in college. I didn't major in it, but I majored in cognitive science. So it was very interesting for me to hear it and how like he decided to like write the letters and base it off of partially off of hieroglyphics and then on more Greek lettering and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool, and
Yeah,
I would definitely hear him talk
It sounded
again.
really difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like that Tolkien. I mean, that sounded pretty easy. he was joking. They're like, someone asked a question. They're like, "Oh, what about Tolkien?" He was like, "Oh, that's like alphabet based. That was easy." But it sounded he has like some interesting tools. It sounds like with these days with, just like coded programs.
Yeah,
and
programming.
it's really the language. It just has a very fascinating look to it. Which is going to be in the show. The writing is going to be everywhere and stuff, which is cool. I got some screen grabs of that.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize like how much.
But...
Yeah, I didn't realize like how much programming went into it, like with what he does. So that was really fascinating to me as well because I don't know a lot about that stuff.
Yeah. I will I will say I wasn't interested in particularly interested in like linguistic stuff of that, but honestly I was impressed. He was a cool guy. Talked about just a whole bunch of like stuff that was really interesting and would like hang out at the parties and like talk to people. So
Yeah, he was super chill, and I hope that he comes to future cons again, and we can see him do panels again.
yeah. I'll say with House of Dragon, he can come back any year and just talk about that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that he can like elaborate on things more. So.
Yeah.
And then.
I don't doubt that he would come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the schedules align.
How about say,
I
and
feel like
then
he's at like every Game of Thrones thing, pretty much.
So yeah, then we have trivia, which was a shit show. Whatever. Who cares? Like.
I have to say,
Who won though?
Look. We have to make a point. Explain why it was a shit show. Like it didn't matter, but it was. All
right.
I mean,
First thing I want to say is that their Liana Ned character monologue that they were doing was brilliant, and I loved that, and I thought it was really cute and funny. And And now we will get into the actual trivia part of it.
I mean, like, I don't feel like there's, much we need to say or whatever. It's just like, it's like one of those things where it's just like, man, we're at like Saturday night, like, we got set up for like a Manimals concert in like a little bit, and like, all of the volunteers are busy and been busy all weekend, and so this one just like got tossed to the wayside in terms of priority, which is perfectly fair. And so yeah, there just wasn't, enough structure with the questions and the scoring or whatever. So we just kind of,
No, it was fine. I just thought it was like the first thing to the scoring, and they were like, "Okay, everybody said the answer was," and I'm like, "Oh, it's honor system trivia." I'm like, "This is fine."
Yeah.
And then someone, I think Tara was like, "Yeah, that's not how you do that."
Right. Yeah. We should.
And it was just
not
a funny
do that.
moment. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was taking it too seriously. So
No, not at all.
I don't know.
So
Right.
it just kind of, dicked around for a little bit.
Yeah. It was fun. But I
Um,
thought their performance.
I did feel bad for like the two people who were like there who were like actually expecting real trivia. So I do feel bad for
right. Yeah.
but I think that it probably needed a bit more structure. I think that's my only critique.
Yeah, that's all. That's all it was. Just need to have a set structure and scoring system and would have been fine. But whatever, all good. Manimals, fucking dope.
Oh yeah,
What else
I
did you
missed the
expect?
Manimals.
I missed home.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, what? Where were you guys?
Oh, what was I doing?
So a bunch of us, so Adam, me, Greg, and Alex were playing games during that.
Okay.
Mostly because I think that Greg and I are pretty, at least I can only speak for Greg and I, but we're not super.
You got a little
We're a
sensitive
little,
eardrums.
yes, we're a little sensitive to the loud noises. So we thought it was great from afar, but we opted to do some gaming at that time.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we had good fun when we played.
I
forget what it was. We had good fun.
I was literally en route with you guys to go play some games, and then I saw Kevin, and I wanted to go tell Kevin what we were gonna do. And then I didn't see you guys for like an hour and a half.
You got lost.
No, we were at the bar.
Yeah.
It's funny because there were
the
people in like the Discord that were like, "Oh man, I want to play some Cards Against Westeros." And we're like, "Great!" like
we're here.
Come on, let's play. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like but the biggest difference this year is I think that the people who were not here this year were the people who were more into the gaming aspect of Ice and Fire Con. So like Zach, Dan, and I feel like Mihal. Like I feel like there's a lot of people in that group who would be more into the more relaxed side of Ice and Fire Con than I think others are, and I feel like I'm more of a go with the flow kind of person, so I just gravitated towards the partying this year.
Yeah,
one thing I will say is I feel like there was less people in general, right? Like,
yeah.
So they capped it, I think, a week or two before. And well, they said that they had more people registered than like ever before, and they capped it because they didn't want to have like too big of a crowd, which I get. But I also think a lot, like everyone from 2020 was still registered, right? And like a lot of those people simply couldn't make it. So I think that like you ended up with less people. So, which I don't think would have mattered.
It still had to be close to 300, right?
No, yeah, I think
that a lot of people, yeah, but
I didn't feel like as much. We didn't have like the same issue in 2019 where like you literally couldn't get a seat to see the play, the musical. But like I still feel like it was a lot of people. It was still lots and lots of more people than there were at Mountain View. So
yeah, there was a good amount of people. But what I'm saying is like I'm kind of feeling like if this had actually happened, like if there was no pandemic, if this had happened in 2020, like I feel like you would have gotten a lot of new people, a lot of people that weren't there. Like I feel like the numbers would have been a lot higher.
Yeah, that's always just going to be tough. Yeah.
I will say, I mean, they might, in future, they might just end up like capping it for space too, not just for like COVID reasons.
Yeah, I could see that
Just because like I feel like
limited.
I mean that's the main thing I like about the con. Like I think I like I would like to cap it like 350, maybe
Yeah, I
400.
know there was
400.
there were some people from like that I'd seen at like Con of Thrones and stuff there, but I remember going to Con of Thrones, like you had the final show episode or season of the show, and then people were like, wait, there's an Ice and Fire Con, and there was like so many people that were like, oh yeah, I'm totally coming to that, and like I remember in groups like there was like going to be like a large contingent from that, and like I don't like only a few of them ended up being there, because like I said, I think it's just like well, it's 2 years later and maybe the plans don't work out, so
Yeah. Whatever, I'll say I've been trying to get off my partying agenda for years, so I succeeded this year.
You're welcome.
No, I always want to go there, but I feel like most of my friends end up not doing it at the con. So this year I was pleasantly surprised that we were more partying this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't know people hardly, and then it's dark. You're outside, and it's like dark, and I'm like, I don't know who anybody is.
But that's what's fun about it. You get to re-meet people that you already
That
met.
makes it way easier,
Yeah.
actually.
I feel like if people want to meet me, then like come and like have an audience, like like that peasant that tried to
Oh
talk
my
to me during
God.
dinner.
Step up to your throne.
How dare you? How dare you?
All right, next year we'll give out Adam's cabin number so everybody can come and say hi, and we'll give them the code word.
If they wanted to meet me, they would say hi. That's my point. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, Manimals were great. I'm not, familiar enough to know the lyrics or anything, but still had a blast. And then Dream of Spring Break Dance Party, where we were all fucking in it.
Yes, it was very fun.
As the kids say nowadays.
Yeah, I think Kevin had some balls to the walls, perhaps.
Yeah.
Kevin had a great time, and I had a great time too. But Kevin really had a great time.
For sure.
Kevin had the greatest time.
Well, he's a dancing machine.
Yes.
I think one of my favorite parts, I mean, like just the dance party itself was fun. I got to meet a bunch of people and just, we all got to run around and be weirdos. I think my favorite part though was telling Casey that these balloons were condoms. And she goes, no, they're not.
Yeah, and then I picked one up and I was like, yep.
Yeah, if you look at it, like you see with the tie, and you're like, oh no, it is.
Yeah. You're like, these are not good to use now. It's not, they're no good anymore.
Very durable, but not good to use for the real purpose.
They've been blown up much too big. Not safe. No. Nope, I'm just gonna have to collect these before someone tries to use them.
I think the first year that I went, they were handing out condoms to people, or they had like a sign that was probably Thrones related that I'm not remembering. But
Right,
a bunch of people, but a bunch of people thought that they like stapled the notes to the condoms, and so everybody was like, what are you doing? They weren't actually like that, but like I still thought that people thought that was funny.
Is that the old Robert Baratheon condom?
Rubber Baratheon?
Oh, the seed's too strong. Boy.
So yeah, dance party, great time. Everyone's on like the same page in terms of like what music should be playing. I feel.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, because then there's the dance party. I can only say how many times dancing is great. And then afterward was the final party ish.
I was about to say, this one I dipped. This was the one I missed. Where because I mean, if I were staying in a cabin, I would have gone. But since had to be in the hotel this year, I was just like, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah, this party I remember because we were all, because man, I think you, me and Casey were up there the longest probably.
Yeah, I think I think that I dipped on the party and like said goodbye, like preemptively goodbye to everybody because I had to take the 12-hour hike back.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, because I'm just trying to remember.
The dance party went very late though. Like
Yeah.
that was past midnight. That I think we
It was.
got back.
It was at least 1. I feel like it might have even been close to 2.
Yeah.
Because I remember whatever time we all left the dance party and went back to our cabins and rooms and whatever, everybody went to bed, and I was like, I was still drunk and in a party mode, and the final night party was at the Skelly cabin, which
Mhm.
for us was, I could see, I was looking at it,
Yeah.
and I remember I kept being like, you know what? I know I'm by myself, but like I'm a good mood. I just go to the party, go talk to people, blah blah blah. And what I ended up doing was like rolling myself joints, smoking cigarettes, drinking beers, and just like had my headphones on, listening to music, and every now and then I'd look up and watch them dance, and I'd be like, those guys are having a good time. I was way too fucking tired to actually wake up. I put on jammies and shit.
Xander's like Cuddy up there. In my zone.
Okay, and what time did Kevin go to bed this night?
This is when he
disappeared.
This is like he
disappeared.
Yeah.
He disappeared, and then we found him in the cabin.
So
we were like, he must have gone somewhere. We don't know where.
He woke up Greg. I remember this. So he woke up Greg, and
right,
like apparently he just walked in the cabin and said, "Oh shit," and then he left. like Greg was like, I don't know if he's okay. I don't know when he's coming back, and then eventually
he was like, I think he went back to the party. And we were like, no, he's in bed.
Yeah.
He's just
Kevin, we love you. You're just not here to defend yourself.
So true.
So then that wraps up the final full day of the con.
It's like the bear. It's like you don't gotta outrun the bear. You just gotta be the second to least sloppy. The most sloppiest.
Oh man. All right, and then we got Sunday, and I left very early and didn't do any con-related things. Greg did win the he won the board game prize. So it's basically a bunch of
yes, that was awesome because what was it? Was it me, you, and Kevin? And that's when we were told that he won.
No, it was just me and you, and Tara ran into us. Yeah, right. And like she asked me when I was leaving, and I told her in the morning, and she was like, "Oh my God, no, you're gonna leave before you get the award." And I was like, "What award?" And like she told me that Greg won the board game thing, and he got basically like this big box of figurines related to. I wish he was here. He went to bed, but I think it was for a board game related thing. I think it was the actual Game of Thrones board game. Let's just say it was a Game of Thrones board game. It was a cool prize. A bunch of small business figurines and all that, and everything. It was just really awesome. So big thank you to Tara on that. And Greg really loves it, and he's excited to play it. So hopefully we can, play some more games at the con.
Spreading your gaming agenda. Get out of here.
Yeah, there's the Game of Thrones, the tabletop gaming one is kind of catching on right now. Apparently, like little minifigures and stuff. I don't really know much about it. But a friend of mine, he's like, you're the only one I know that likes Game of Thrones, and he's not really into a super ton of nerdy stuff. He's a video game guy, but he was like, I know these miniatures. You have to get some too so we can play. So now I have to start looking at it.
Yeah, well, if you need miniatures, Greg probably will lend you some if you need it. But yeah, I mean, gaming wise, I really only do like Secret Targaryen is as like hardcore as I get. Like that's really fun, but like the board game stuff that John and Greg do, I can't get into it.
Yeah, we need to do like Game of Thrones, like Clue and everything. I feel like I don't know. It's like I said, this is just sort of a little different. Next year, I feel like we should just stay through Sunday and leave on Monday.
Yeah.
Like I tried to like because I wasn't sure if
I
this was still
100%
happening or is it
agree.
going to be postponed. So it was all very like last minute. So I only kind of did the weekend. I'm like I'll be back for work on Monday, but like a lot of the people like I feel like a lot of people bounce on Sunday before noon or whatever. And people got to get going, but a lot of people stay like Sunday night, and it feels like it's sort of that's when it kind of winds down, and they're watching episodes of the show, and like that's maybe where there's more time to kind of like let's break up the games, or like for some of the other people that like kind of partied all weekend.
Yeah.
So I think maybe
Yeah,
next year I would stay a little longer.
I totally agree with that. Especially because like you're saying like this was supposed to be 2 years ago, so it was kind of a weird, is this trip still happening kind of thing. So for
Right.
me personally, both time and financially, it was a very tight trip for me.
Yeah, and like I couldn't spend
like
shit ton money because we were supposed to close on a house, so I was like, don't spend money.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
like if they see that they'll be like, fuck you, you can't get the house. So
right, yeah.
I had to kind of like.
So I think next year I will stay through Sunday, even if I just leave Sunday night. I think I will stay through Sunday just because it does seem like a nice day to like still hang out with the same people, but like in a much more relaxed, calm, chill way. Not like, oh, I gotta run here. Oh, I gotta go say hi to this person. Oh, I gotta go eat.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna plan for is to kind of like stay that like go back to work maybe on the Tuesday and not like feel rushed or anything.
I mean, I always take Monday off to recover anyway.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I always take Monday off.
So, yeah.
Wait,
Casey,
you guys
you
get
and
time
Greg
off?
left.
Yeah.
So you and Greg left pretty early. But me, Kevin, and you, Adam, we left. I don't know what, noon. 11?
Yeah, it was give or take noon. I don't remember exactly when it was, but
Yeah. So how late did you or Alex stay, Matt?
I mean, Alex dipped out. Yeah, I was there the latest just because I sat in on the panels just because I wanted to sit in on the Hot D panel, which was mainly the Game of Bones people, Zach and Hannah, and some other people were on there too that I don't fully remember. So that was fun. I mean, and that's also the thing with staying through the Sunday next year. We'll have Hot D episodes to watch.
have what?
You get it.
Hot D, boy.
Hot D, man.
It did take me a second, and I was like, they really did that on purpose, didn't they?
100%. They gotta know.
Dragon.
I get it now, and we just talked about that, and I probably should have gotten it sooner. I don't know if that's going to catch on. We'll see.
It is already caught on.
Great.
Got that Hot D energy.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, and then final panel was Chloe and Emmett talking just about some win stuff for kicks. So yeah, I watched those. Would recommend. They were fun. I'll say looking at here, the ones I'm interested kind of in checking out are the Women in Agency, the War of Roses one, and I heard Game of Thrones was pretty good too.
Are all of the panels online now?
Oh no, not at all. They've only put up
but
the Women in Agency. They'll release the rest, slowly over time.
yeah, they do it like one a week or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. They'll be there when they're there.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's 11:30. I kind of need a dip.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say we should probably close up.
I gotta figure out how to get my car to the shop tomorrow. So.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
That bad boy. I will say, it was my first con. 10 out of 10 lemon cakes would recommend.
Popped your con cherry.
Definitely. Yep, you guys popped my con cherry.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be going again next year.
Yeah, it'll be great.
It'll be a lot nicer, easier, because not. And I will say I'm thankful for this. It was very hectic for me because it was my first con, but I'm thankful in some weird, peculiar way that like it was hectic pretty much for everybody. So it kind of made it a little easier for my first con.
Yes.
But yeah,
Connect-
go. If you guys haven't, go.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do a sign off here and make it official.
Just to, if you're curious about Ice and FireCon, go to iceandfirecon.com, I believe it is, and is it spelled out all the way, or is it there's some?
I think it's spelled out all the way.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
Ice and
Yep, it is spelled out all the way. Tickets are usually under $100 if you buy them. Well, I shouldn't probably even be saying that. I don't think anything is out yet for
Yeah, we don't
next
know
year.
what they'll be for next year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Just keep an eye
inflation.
out for as soon as they go on sale. That's the best time to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the past they've been 80 as the starting price.
Yeah.
With the $5 discount that you can get from any podcast.
Yes. Not ours though.
Really? I'm pretty sure. Well, at least
No,
at least
there's the podcast of Ice and Fire one. It's not BOK.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
Like I just used the word
we are not
podcast.
relevant anymore. The show is not on. We were barely relevant when the show was on.
Yeah.
Right now, we do not exist. But
Thank you to the one person who is still listening to us. You are our favorite person.
Oh, don't worry. We'll post this in the Ice and Fire Discord if people will listen, because why not?
So we're speaking to
We can
you,
be
our
relevant.
BOK members.
We can be relevant. All right. So, hey, who's editing this? What's happening?
Don't ask me. I'm somehow the host, but I'm not a curator. I don't know.
Yeah, whoever posts the file once the recording is done, and I can
Yeah, I will.
get to it eventually.
I can't edit anything, but
I think Kevin's doing the trailer one. I would assume, right?
The trailer one.
Yeah.
Well, at least this one's a discussion, so it's a little easier to.
yeah.
It's not too much.